Yeah, recording. All right, so good morning, panel members. Group 5 is now here to present their paper. All right, Group 5, you can start.
Good morning, Professor Sagong, Professor Naira, and Professor Domingo. We are the Group 5 and we are here to present to you our capstone project entitled Aralin Baybayin, Intelligent Tutoring System for Baybayin Script with Character Recognition. My name is Therese Angel Saavedra and my fellow proponents are Jerico Jadaone, Karl Marco Loristo, and Justin Oledan. So first, for the suggestion of the panel members, the last defense. First is to provide survey instrument for motivational experience, which we added to our evaluation questionnaire. Next is to provide instrument for checking the accuracy of the OCR, which is the convolutional neural network. Third is to provide additional certificates for users to be motivated, which the proponents provided. And lastly, for adding a feature on gamification, we added ranking or leaderboards.
Introduction. As technology and globalization expand, an increasing number of enthusiasts and proponents, both Filipinos and non-Filipinos, are getting more interested in the revitalization of the old Filipino scripts, according to CAMBA 2021. According to the present Public Affairs Bureau, 2018, the House of Representatives approved House Bill 1022, or the National Writing System Act, which declares the Baybayin script as the Philippine National Writing System. Success in modern occupation depends on having strong literacy abilities, which are also becoming more and more crucial for social interactions, according to Chong and Slavin 2012. One of the goals of intelligent tutoring system is to support learners' literacy through practice and instructions in reading, comprehensions, and writing, according to Havina and McNamara ND. Arlen Baybayin aims to help people who are interested in learning Baybayin script, such as historians, foreigners, and fellow Filipinos, have an efficient and convenient way of learning how to read and write the Baybayin script. And here's our problem solution statement that the problem of lack of skills in reading and writing by Bayan script affects people who would like to understand and apply by Bayan script, the impact of which is inability to learn by Bayan script, and a successful solution would be implement a Baybayin intelligent tutoring system that offers features such as character recognition, which leads us to our general objective to develop an application that promote a more efficient and interactive way of learning the Baybayin script using intelligent tutoring system. To achieve this, here are our specific objectives. To be able to deliver a learning motivational experience for the users by having levels of difficulty and gaining certificates to construct words and phrases after finishing levels by categories. Second, to be able to provide organized, progressive, and interactive lessons for the users. Third, to measure the user's acceptability of Aralin by buying using ISO 25010. And last, to measure accuracy of Aralin by buying in terms of OCR transliteration by using convolutional neural network.
For the implementation procedure, here's an example of a next po. Here's an example of a test case scenario. We developed a total of 20 test cases that responded our application and asked several people to test the system. Here are some of the testers with their signature of approvals. Okay po, next. Um, we approximately we have approximately 240 third years BISIT students, and we use the Rousseau sample size calculator to calculate our sample size. We achieve a total of 130 sample size with a margin error of 5.83 and a confidence level of above 90%. Next po. Here's a documentation photo of Professor John Dustin Santos, our Baybayin and IT expert with the Aralin Baybayin team. This photograph was taken following the validation of the Aralin Baybayin's content and the application itself. Here's the certificate of content validation issued by Professor John Dustin Santos. Next po. Another documentation photo here in Facebook. We started data gathering by posting our survey. The Aralin Baybayin team disseminates the information through Facebook as we seek our respondents, who are students in their third year of IT at PUP. Next po. Another documentation snapshot in which the Aralin Baybayin team contacted our respondents via Gmeet to carry out interviews and to test our application. Here's another documentation photo featuring an interaction between our respondents. There are some third year IT students who requested the Aralin Baybayin application, and next po. as well as a snapshot of the notable feedback on our questionnaire that we received from them. Here's a video presentation on how we gathered our data.
Walang
Wala pong
sound.
sounds.
For a while lang. Sorry po.
This is the implementation process of Aralin by Bayan. It consists of the online surveys, interviews, scanner testing, and screenshots. First is the online surveys. Here we can see on how the researcher tries to gather data by posting, asking, interviewing people to test the application. Interview and screen record. Here we can hear some reactions and response from one of our interviewee on our app.
Likes,
Mm.
comments, yeah.
And
Ano, overall, nakaka-amaze yung app, yung project nyo kasi usually, onti na lang talaga yung nakakaalam sa baybayin, di ba? Kumbaga parang
yeah.
endangered species na lang sila. Like, and then, basically, hindi na lang siya parang informing yung mga tao or yung mga user ng app. Like, tinuturuan din sila, parang educational purpose din siya. Yung hindi ka lang basta matututo, mag-enjoy ka rin sa mga games.
Now for the practice
2,
session.
3. Intense damage recovery.
Next is the scanner testing. Here we can see how does the scanner works. The translator part of scanner works. Next is the application testing. Here is a recorded video from one of our tester while testing the app. Here we can see the proceed to learning part, wherein we can see the history and the vowels and consonants of Baybayin. And now the tester will try the level 1 part of our app, which is a multiple choice. And lastly, here are the screenshots that we got from the survey questionnaire, wherein we can see the responses of third year students here in PUP who test our app. And that's it. Thank you.
So let's now proceed to the results and discussion. First, for the interest of respondents on learning the Baybayin script, 80.6% answered yes, 17.8% answered slightly, and 1.6% answered no. Second is we also gathered first the knowledge of the respondents on reading the Baybayin script, which results to 56.2% answered no, 30% answered slightly, and 13.8 answered yes. And third is the knowledge of the respondents on writing the Baybayin script, which 62.5% answered no, 21.7% answered slightly, and 15.8 answered yes. So let's now proceed to the ISO 25010 results gathered by the proponents. We used a 4-point Likert scale with a verbal interpretation of strongly agree, disagree, and strongly disagree. Um, so first, for the functional suitability result, we gathered an average mean of 3.5 and a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. For the reliability, we gathered a 3.35 average and an interpretation of agree. For the portability, we gathered 3.56 average mean and a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. For the usability, we gathered 3.49 average mean and interpretation of agree. For the performance efficiency, we gathered 3.45 average mean and an interpretation of agree. For the security, we gathered an average mean of 3.56 and verbal interpretation of strongly agree. For the compatibility, we gathered an average of 3.44 and an interpretation of agree. For the maintainability, we gathered an average mean of 3.47 and an interpretation of agree. So overall, we gathered a 3.48 average mean for ISO 25010 and interpretation of agree. So we also evaluated the motivational experience of the users through our survey, which overall has an average mean of 3.47 and and an interpretation of agree. We also asked the respondents if they will use the Aralin Baybayin in the future, and 76.9% answered yes, 21.5% answered maybe, and 1.5% answered no. And lastly, using a Likert scale, we asked the respondents if they will recommend Aralin Baybayin to the other users, and most of the respondents answered 10, 9, and 8.
So for our CNN model results, after 30 epochs, the final training accuracy for this model is 99%, while the validation accuracy is at 98%. The loss of using the training data is 0.04, while the loss using the validation data is 0.06. The average training loss and validation loss are almost equal, which means the model didn't overfit. Next. Which leads us to conclusion that we have met the overall objective of our research. To specify, for the first objective, is to be able to deliver a learning motivational experience for the users by having levels of difficulty and gaining certificates to construct words and phrases after finishing levels by categories. For the conclusion, the system has met the requirements for motivational experience by using the motivational experience on the evaluation form and a verbal interpretation of agree. Next. For the second objective is to be able to provide organized, progressive, and interactive lessons for the users. For the conclusion, the system has met the requirements of having an organized, progressive, and interactive lessons for the users after the contents have been reviewed and validated by a Baybayin and IT expert. By using the Aralin Baybayin applications, users can benefit from the structured and engaging lessons which can help them to learn Baybayin more effectively. Next. For this, for the third objective is to measure the user's acceptability of Aralin Baybayin using ISO 15010. For the conclusion, the components include that Aralin Baybayin is acceptable to the users based on the ISO 25010 quality model and the user's verbal interpretation of agree and strongly agreed. Next. For the last objective is to measure accuracy of Aralin Baybayin in terms of OCR transliteration by using CNN. For the conclusion, using convolutional neural networks, Baybayin character recognition yields a final train accuracy of 99.16 and validation accuracy of 98.60%. This accuracy rate is good enough since each character has 1,300 hand-drawn images of the characters that were used during the training, which has a total of 76,700 datasets. An accuracy rate of 91.55% was achieved by accurately transliterating 412 out of 450 Baybayin image words. Aralin Baybayin has approved that CNN models are suitable for Baybayin character recognition. Next.
For the recommendation, based on the result of our data gathering, as well as the comments and suggestion of the Baybayin and IT expert and some of the users, we recommend that 1. For the user interface of Arin Baybayin, choose colors that are more visually appealing to users, provide graphics to make learning more enjoyable to users, and provide more Filipino content. Second is to apply speech recognition in order to receive audio feedback on the correct pronunciation of each Baybayin character. Users can also try to pronounce the character themselves and check for accuracy. Third is to provide additional lessons and difficulty levels. Fourth is to improve the accuracy of OCR transliteration and add more datasets for each Baybayin character. And fifth is, aside from certificates, providing rewards and prizes can motivate users to use Aralin Baybayin more.
And that's it for our presentation. We are now open for questions and comment suggestions.
Okay,
po.
Ma'am Rach,
Ay
nag-iisa ka
po.
po.
Opo.
Si Ma'am Rhea, later na lang daw. So, ikaw na lang po muna.
Okay, so ang system natin ay intelligent tutoring system for baybayin. So with regards to the reliability ng content, sino po ang nag-evaluate?
Si Professor John Dustin Santos.
Do you think si Sir alam na natin si Sir Dance, actually alam ko na thesis niya kasi to sa masters, or talagang medyo inclined talaga siya in actually hindi niya thesis, basta pinag-aaralan niya to, so inclined na siya dito sa ganitong baybayin, no. I know that na yun siya, pero wala na kayong ibang expert aside from Sir Dustin?
Actually, we tried to reach out po kasi talaga sa other baybayin advocates, ganyan. Pero, ayun po, some kasi responded po na hindi po sila pwede, ganun. And we also tried to reach out some professor sa Filipinalohiya po sa PUP, pero no response po, kaya nahirapan po kami.
Ayun. So no question naman with regards dun sa ni Sir Dustin, pero kasi 'di ba baka iba pa din kapag talagang mismong pinag-aral yung niya, kumbaga nag-major niya talaga yung subject na ito. 'Di ba? So yung sabi niyo nga ay dun sa Filipinohiya, no. Kasi I guess talagang nila inaral nila ito, no. So yun nga, no question naman dun sa knowledge ni Sir Dustin, pero I think hindi pa siya, kumbaga expert siya, pwede nating masabing ganun, pero baka meron pang mas ibang talagang mas nakakaalam ng subject matter na ito. Yan. So siguro aside from Sir Dustin, parang baka meron pang ibang support, iba pa, no, kasi unfortunately hindi nga kayo nakakuha. Okay.
Pero, ma'am, okay po. Sige po. Thank you po, noted po.
So, yun lang. Kinulang na kayo sa time. Pero siguro given the time, meron din naman iba pang pwedeng mag-validate aside from Sir Dustin. So, ano pa ba? And then, sige, with regards naman dun sa, wala kayong ginamit na, kasi di ba intelligent, yung pag-develop, when it comes sa pag-develop nung tool, and yung pag-complete, kasi di ba nung nag-full defense tayo, meron pa kami mga recommendations with regards dun sa, ba kayo, do you conduct experiments with regards dun sa pagba-validate or yung accuracy nung inyong mga ginamit or ginawa dun sa tool?
Functional tests po.
Oo.
Apo. So, sa test cases, na lang din. So, Karl, pa-explain na lang.
So po, sa test case po, bago po kami mag-implement and deploy po ng app, at tsaka yung gathering po, tinest po namin yung yung mga functions po ng aming application. Ayan po. Yan po yung parang mga tester po, yung signature po nila. Sila po yung nag-test po nung app po namin. Bali, lahat po ng buttons, ganun po, mga functions, mga features po, nasa test cases po. Tsaka po, yung sa accuracy. Check.
Ito kasi na-develop na yung system and then they test, diba? So, how about yung during the development? Do you have any testing for accuracy, or do you use any statistical treatment to test the accuracy?
Regarding for the OCR po, I think Jerico can answer that.
O yun, regarding sa OCR, kung paano ka-correct yung pag-identify with regards to the image.
So, ayun. Sa so kung gaano ka correct po, gumamit since gumamit po kami ng CNN model, ayun nga po, nakakuha po kami ng, by training datasets from 59 characters, yung validation accuracy po is 98%. And then yung sa word accuracy naman po, gumamit po kami ng, para makuha yung exact accuracy for the word accuracy. The formula that we use is word recognition accuracy is equals to number of correctly transliterated words over total number of baybayin word images, which is 112 po yung correct transliterated word, and then yung total number of baybayin word na tinas po namin is over 450 times 100%, which is yung nakuha po namin accuracy is 91.55%. Yun lang po.
So, saan po galing yung dataset na yon? Nag-create ba kayo ng own dataset o meron kayong pinagkunan?
May pinagkuhanan po kaming datasets, yung kay Daday po, na nasa GitHub po yung.
So,
Yung
do
source.
you include that in your paper or yung manuscript?
Yes po. We have
Okay.
concluded din po. And we also asked for their permission in person po and in email po to use it po.
Okay, so include nyo na lang dun sa chapter 4, no? Okay. So, yun lang po sa akin. Thank you po.
Okay, stop sharing your screen. Let us have the photo up now. So, hintay na lang natin yung reaction ni Ma'am Sago pagdating sa PUK. Sabi siya ng bahay, baka traffic na yun. O, sino tagakuha ng picture for group 5?
Sige po, ako na lang. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you po.
Sige, you can leave now group 5.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Hindi pa daw kompleto si group 4, so proceed na lang
po.
to group 6. Okay, goodbye group 5. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.